exposing the sweet poison, why sugar is making you sick, tired, and addicted. Have you ever wondered why that one piece of chocolate leads to another, and then another, or why a sugary drink feels so comforting after a long day? You're not alone. Sugar is a part of nearly everything we eat, from the obvious sweets like candy and cakes to the not-so-obvious salad dressings, yogurts, bread, and even pasta sauces. It sneaks into our lives quietly, sweetening our foods, lifting our moods, and over time, changing our bodies. In today's fast-paced world, sugar has become more than just an ingredient. It's a habit, a craving, sometimes even a comfort. But behind its sweet disguise lies a story, one that affects our brain, our heart, our liver, and even our skin. This video isn't here to scare you or make you feel guilty. It's here to gently explore the truth. What really happens inside your body when you eat sugar? Why do we crave it so much? And most importantly, how can we take back control without giving up everything we love? Whether you're someone trying to cut back on sugar, a parent concerned for your child, or just curious about how food affects your health, this journey is for you. So grab a cozy seat, maybe a cup of herbal tea, and join me as we uncover the story of sugar and how small, mindful steps can lead to a healthier, more energized you. Ready? Let's begin. Part 2. How sugar affects the body. Sugar may look simple and innocent, sweet, small crystals that melt in your mouth. But once it enters your body, it sets off a chain reaction that touches nearly every organ system. Let's take a gentle journey through your body and discover what sugar really does, starting with the command center, your brain. 1. Sugar and the brain, the pleasure trap. When you eat something sweet, your brain lights up, literally. Sugar triggers a release of dopamine, the feel-good chemical that gives you a sense of pleasure and reward. It's the same chemical that gets released when we fall in love, achieve something important, or even when using certain drugs. Yes, sugar activates the same brain pathways as addictive substances like cocaine. Over time, the brain starts to crave that rush again and again. The more sugar we consume, the more desensitized our brain becomes, needing even more sugar to get the same reward. This is what scientists call tolerance. It's not just a matter of willpower when it comes to sugar cravings. It's a deeply wired neurological pattern. And that's why it can feel so hard to stop once we start, but awareness is powerful. Knowing this helps us respond with compassion, not guilt. 2. Sugar and the liver, the silent overload. Next stop, your liver. This organ works quietly behind the scenes, processing nutrients, filtering toxins, and managing blood sugar levels. When we eat sugar, especially fructose, a type of sugar found in many processed foods, it's the liver's job to break it down. But here's the problem: fructose can only be metabolized by the liver. And if there's too much of it too often, the liver becomes overwhelmed. What happens next? It starts turning the excess sugar into fat. This buildup of fat in the liver can lead to a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, a condition that's becoming increasingly common, even in children. The scary part, NAFLD often shows no symptoms in the early stages. It's a silent condition that can worsen over time, leading to liver inflammation, scarring, and in some cases, liver failure. 3. Sugar and the pancreas, insulin struggle. Now let's talk about your pancreas, a small organ with a big job. Every time you eat sugar, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin helps move sugar from your bloodstream into your cells, where it can be used for energy. It's like a key that unlocks the door so sugar can enter your cells. But when you consume sugar frequently, your body keeps pumping out insulin again and again. Over time, your cells may stop responding to it properly, a condition called insulin resistance. This means your body needs to produce even more insulin to get the same effect, putting your pancreas under constant stress. Eventually, this can lead to type 2 diabetes, a chronic condition that affects millions of people around the world. And it all starts with those repeated spikes in blood sugar. 4. Sugar and the heart, a hidden threat. When we think of heart disease, we often blame saturated fat or cholesterol. But research is now showing that excess sugar may be just as dangerous, if not more so. High sugar intake increases levels of bad cholesterol LDL and triglycerides, while lowering levels of good cholesterol HDL. It also contributes to chronic inflammation, which can damage blood vessels and lead to high blood pressure. Over time, this can increase the risk of heart attacks and strokes, even in people who appear slim and healthy on the outside. The link between sugar and heart disease is so strong that the American Heart Association now recommends limiting added sugar to no more than 6 teaspoons a day for women and 9 teaspoons for men. That's less than 1 can of soda. 5. Sugar and the gut. Feeding the wrong bacteria. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, some good, some not so good. Together, they form your gut microbiome, a powerful ecosystem that affects your digestion, mood, immune system, and even weight. Unfortunately, sugar tends to feed the wrong crowd. Excess sugar creates an environment where harmful bacteria and yeast can thrive, crowding out the beneficial ones. This imbalance, called dysbiosis, can lead to bloating, constipation, weakened immunity, increased cravings, even mental health issues like anxiety or brain fog. A healthy gut loves fiber-rich fruits and vegetables, not sugary snacks. 6. Sugar and the skin. Aging from the inside out. Yes, sugar can even show up on your face. When you consume high amounts of sugar, it binds to proteins in your body through a process called glycation. This creates harmful molecules known as AGS, advanced glycation end products, and they accelerate aging. These AGS damage collagen and elastin, the proteins that keep your skin firm, plump, and youthful. The result: wrinkles, sagging, and a dull appearance. Sugar is also linked to inflammation, which can worsen skin conditions like acne, eczema, and rosacea. So, while that donut might feel like comfort food, it could be speeding up the aging process quietly over time. The bigger picture, it's not just about weight. Here's something important: the effects of sugar go far beyond weight gain. Even people who are not visibly overweight can experience the internal effects of sugar, from fatty liver to insulin resistance to hormonal imbalance. That's why sugar is now being called a chronic, silent stressor to the body, not because one cookie is dangerous, but because of the cumulative effect over time. But don't panic, just be aware. Before we go any further, take a deep breath. This isn't about fear, it's about understanding. It's about seeing sugar not as the enemy, but as something that needs boundaries. Like a friend who's great in small doses, but exhausting when they move in and never leave. Knowledge gives you power. And now that you know how sugar affects your body, from head to toe, you're already one step ahead. In the next part, we'll take a look at how much sugar is too much and how to recognize it in everyday foods. You might be surprised by what you find in your fridge. Ready to keep going? Let's gently move into part 3. Part 3. How much sugar is too much? Let's take a quiet moment to reflect. Sugar is everywhere, in the obvious treats like cookies and sodas, but also in foods we might never suspect. And while it can bring joy, comfort, and energy, the real question is, how much sugar is too much, and how much are we actually eating without knowing? What do the health guidelines say? To begin, let's look at what health experts around the world are telling us. The World Health Organization, who recommends that both adults and children limit their intake of added sugars to less than 10% of their total daily energy intake. For even better health, who suggests cutting that down to less than 5%? Let's turn those percentages into something more practical. For the average adult, 5% of daily calories from sugar equals about 25 grams of sugar, or 6 teaspoons. For children, the safe limit is even lower, around 12 to 20 grams, depending on their age and size. This limit includes all forms of added sugars, from table sugar in your coffee to corn syrup in your favorite snack bar. And just to give you perspective, a single can of soda contains about 39 grams of sugar, already far beyond the healthy limit for the entire day. So how much are we really consuming? Let's be honest, most of us aren't carefully counting teaspoons of sugar throughout our day, but here's what the numbers tell us. In the United States, the average adult consumes around 77 grams of added sugar per day, more than 3 times the WHO recommendation. In the United Kingdom, it's about 60 grams per day. Globally, most people are consuming between 55 to 65 grams daily, depending on region, diet, and age group. In some countries, children and teens are consuming even more sugar than adults, especially through sweetened drinks, snacks, and convenience foods. This steady overconsumption is often unintentional. Most people aren't eating spoonfuls of sugar by choice. It's just hidden in so many everyday foods. But isn't a little sugar okay? Yes, and that's the key. Sugar in small amounts isn't inherently harmful. In fact, natural sugars found in whole fruits, vegetables, and dairy come with fiber, vitamins, and minerals that help your body process them in a healthy way. The real concern lies in added sugars, the kind that are sneaked into processed foods, often to enhance flavor, preserve shelf life, or make a product more addictive. These added sugars provide empty calories, meaning they offer energy but no real nutrients. And when consumed regularly in high amounts, they begin to cause problems, from weight gain to blood sugar imbalances and more. Why is it so easy to go over the limit? Because sugar doesn't always look like sugar on the label. Here are just a few of the many names sugar hides under: high fructose corn syrup, cane juice, glucose, sucrose, dextrose, maltose, agave nectar, brown rice syrup, invert sugar. It's estimated that there are over 60 different names for added sugar used in the food industry. So even when you think you're making a healthy choice, sugar might be sneaking in through the back door. Common foods that surprise us with high sugar. You might be thinking, I don't eat sweets that often. But sugar shows up in places you wouldn't expect. For example, flavored yogurt. Some single-serving cups contain over 20 grams of sugar. Granola and cereal bars, marketed as health foods, but many contain 15 to 25 grams per bar. Fruit juice. Even 100% juice can have as much sugar as soda. Ketchup and pasta sauce. Just 2 tablespoons of ketchup can have 8 grams of sugar. Healthy smoothies or protein shakes, often sweetened with multiple sources of sugar to improve taste. When we eat these foods throughout the day, the grams quickly add up, often before we've even had dessert. What happens when we regularly exceed the limit? Consuming too much added sugar doesn't usually cause problems overnight. But over time, it can lead to weight gain and increased belly fat. Insulin resistance, which can progress to type 2 diabetes. Fatty liver disease, even in people who don't drink alcohol. Heart disease, due to increased triglycerides and inflammation. Cognitive fog, mood swings, and energy crash. Weakened immunity, gut imbalances, and skin issues. The connection between high sugar consumption and chronic disease is no longer just a theory. It's well established by decades of research. So, what's a healthier approach? You don't need to quit sugar entirely. Instead, try aiming for balance and mindful awareness. Here are a few gentle ways to stay within a healthy range. 1. Start reading nutrition labels, especially the total sugars and added sugars line. 2. Choose whole fruits over fruit juice or sweetened snacks. 3. Opt for plain yogurt and add your own fruit or cinnamon for flavor. 4. Limit sugary drinks and choose water, herbal tea, or unsweetened beverages. 5. Cook more at home so you have more control over ingredients. Even reducing your sugar intake gradually can bring noticeable improvements in energy, mood, skin clarity, and overall well-being. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. We're not here to demonize sugar. Life is sweet, and sometimes, so is dessert. But when sugar becomes a daily habit, hidden in every meal, snack, and sip, that's when it can quietly undermine your health. You deserve energy that lasts, moods that stay steady, and a body that feels balanced and strong, and it starts with small, gentle shifts. In the next chapter, we'll uncover where sugar hides in our everyday foods and how food labels can be your new secret superpower. Coming up, hidden sugar, the sneaky culprit. Part 4, hidden sugar, the sneaky culprit. So far, we've talked about how sugar affects the body and how much is considered too much. But here's something even more surprising. Most of the sugar we consume doesn't come from the sugar ball. It comes from foods that look healthy, familiar, harmless. In fact, one of the trickiest things about sugar is that it hides, often in plain sight. Let's gently lift the curtain and explore where sugar is quietly slipping into our diets and how you can learn to spot it. Sugar in everyday foods you wouldn't expect. You might not be eating cookies or cake every day, but sugar can sneak into meals and snacks that seem innocent or even healthy. Here are some surprising examples. Breakfast foods. Flavored yogurt. Some brands have up to 20 to 25 grams of sugar per small cup, nearly an entire day's worth. Granola and cereal. Many varieties marketed as natural or organic still contain 12 to 18 grams of sugar per serving. Instant oatmeal. Flavored packets often include added brown sugar or syrup, adding 10 grams per pack. Savory foods. Bread, especially white or soft sandwich bread, often includes 2 to 4 grams per slice. Salad dressing. A couple of tablespoons of sweet vinaigrette can sneak in 6 to 8 grams. Ketchup and sauces. 2 tablespoons of ketchup equals about 8 grams of sugar. Beverages. Flavored coffee drinks. A medium-sized flavored latte or iced coffee can contain 30 to 50 grams of sugar. Bottled smoothies and juices. Even if labeled 100% fruit, many have 25 to 35 grams of natural and added sugar. Energy drinks. One may pack over 40 grams of sugar, often with added caffeine and artificial flavors. Why is sugar added to so many foods? There are a few reasons why sugar is added, even to foods that don't taste particularly sweet. 1. Flavor enhancer. Sugar balances acidity and bitterness, making processed food taste more appealing. 2. Preservative. Sugar helps extend shelf life by reducing water activity in packaged goods. 3. Texture and mouthfeel. It adds bulk, chewiness, and a creamy sensation in many snacks. 4. Addictive quality. The more pleasurable the food, the more likely we are to buy it again. Food manufacturers know that sugar makes us crave more. And the more we crave, the more we consume. Learning to read labels like a sugar detective. If you want to reduce hidden sugars in your diet, learning how to read food labels is one of the most powerful tools you can use. Here's what to look for. 1. Added sugars line. In many countries, nutrition labels now include a specific line for added sugars. This is the number to watch. It tells you how much sugar was added during processing, not the naturally occurring sugars from fruit or dairy. Aim for less than 25 grams per day, ideally under 6 grams per serving. 2. Ingredients list. Ingredients are listed in order of quantity, from most to least. If sugar or one of its many forms appears in the first 3 ingredients, that's a sign the product is high in sugar. Watch out for these common sugar disguises: corn syrup, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, dextrose, fructose, glucose. Maltodextrin, invert sugar, agave nectar, molasses. Honey, yes, it's natural, but still sugar. Some products use multiple types of sugar to hide the total, so instead of sugar being first, you'll see 3 types spread throughout the list. It's a sneaky trick to look healthier on the surface. Real-life example, granola bar breakdown. Let's take a look at a seemingly healthy snack, a granola bar. On the front of the package, you might see whole grain oats, gluten-free, made with real fruit, but on the back, 12 grams of added sugar per bar. Ingredients list: oats, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, dried fruit which may be sweetened, honey, natural flavor. By the time you finish that bar, you've already eaten half your daily limit of added sugar, and that's just one snack. A thoughtful shift, awareness without fear. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you start realizing how much sugar is hidden in everyday foods. But this isn't about guilt, it's about empowerment. It's about seeing clearly so you can choose consciously. You don't need to stop eating all your favorite foods. Instead, try asking simple, curious questions. Is there a version of this with less sugar? Can I make this at home and sweeten it naturally? Do I really need it sweetened, or would the natural flavor be enough? When we become more mindful of where sugar hides, we regain control, gently, one step at a time. Easy ways to reduce hidden sugar without feeling deprived. Here are a few gentle swaps that can make a big difference. Plain yogurt plus fresh fruit instead of flavored yogurt. Homemade oatmeal with cinnamon and banana instead of instant packets. Sliced fruit or berries instead of fruit juice. Nut butter plus banana slices on whole grain toast instead of sweet spreads. Lemon or cucumber water instead of sweetened drinks. Over time, your taste buds will adjust. You'll start to notice the natural sweetness in whole foods and crave added sugar less. The takeaway: sugar isn't just in desserts. It's hidden in everyday foods that we've grown up with, trusted, and even considered healthy. But now that you know where to look, in labels, in ingredients, in habits, you have the power to spot it, reduce it, and choose differently. You don't need to cut sugar completely, you just need to see it clearly and decide what feels right for you and your health. And that kind of awareness, it's sweeter than sugar. In the next chapter, we'll talk about why quitting sugar is so hard and how to overcome those intense cravings in a gentle, supportive way. Coming up next, breaking the addiction, why quitting sugar feels so hard. Part 5, breaking the addiction, why quitting sugar feels so hard. Let's be honest. Most of us already know sugar isn't the healthiest thing we can put into our bodies. So why does it feel so incredibly hard to stop? Why do we keep reaching for that chocolate bar after dinner? Or find ourselves craving something sweet when we're stressed, tired, or bored? It's not just about willpower. It's not because you're weak or undisciplined. There are real biological and emotional reasons why sugar feels so addictive, and understanding them is the first step toward breaking free, gently and mindfully. The brain on sugar, a love story. When you eat something sweet, your brain lights up with a sense of pleasure and reward. This happens because sugar triggers the release of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. The more often this reward system is activated, the more your brain starts to associate sugar with comfort, safety, and even love. Over time, something called tolerance begins to develop. This means that the same amount of sugar no longer gives you the same reward, so your brain urges you to eat more. It's the same pattern seen with many forms of addiction, and it's especially strong when you're feeling emotionally low, you're under stress, you're tired, or haven't eaten properly. You've developed habits or rituals around sweets like dessert after every meal. Understanding that this is a real neurological loop helps you meet yourself with compassion, not judgment. What happens when you try to quit? If you've ever tried cutting back on sugar, you might have experienced symptoms like headaches, fatigue, irritability, mood swings, intense cravings, low motivation. This is known as sugar withdrawal, and yes, it's real. Your body, especially your brain, has become used to the regular dopamine hits. When you suddenly stop giving it sugar, it protests. But the good news is, these symptoms are temporary. They usually peak around day 2 or 3, and then begin to fade as your body rebalances. Knowing this ahead of time can help you stay calm and committed when it happens. Emotional attachment to sugar. Beyond biology, sugar also has a deep emotional role in many of our lives. Think about how sugar is tied to childhood memories, celebrations, and holidays. Comfort during heartbreak or stress, social bonding, ice cream with friends, birthday cake, coffee, and cookies. For many of us, sugar isn't just about taste. It represents joy, nostalgia, even love. So when you try to reduce it, part of you might feel like you're letting go of something comforting or familiar. That's why a successful journey away from sugar involves more than food swaps. It requires emotional awareness and gentle self-care. How to break the sugar habit, step by step. Here's a soft, practical guide to help you move away from sugar without feeling overwhelmed or deprived. 1. Start slow, one change at a time. Instead of cutting everything at once, begin with just one thing. For example, switch from sugary drinks to sparkling water with lemon. Choose plain yogurt instead of flavored and add your own fruit. Reduce sugar in your coffee by half. Tiny shifts, repeated consistently, create lasting change. 2. Eat real, whole foods. One of the best ways to reduce sugar cravings is to nourish your body properly. Focus on meals that include protein eggs, fish, tofu, legumes, healthy fats avocado, olive oil, nuts, fiber-rich carbs vegetables, whole grains. These foods help stabilize blood sugar, reduce cravings, and keep you full longer. When your body feels satisfied, the emotional pull toward sugar naturally fades. 3. Don't skip meals. Skipping meals or going too long without eating can cause your blood sugar to drop, and when that happens, your body craves a quick fix. Like sugar, try eating regular meals and snacks that keep you feeling steady throughout the day. 4. Get enough sleep. Lack of sleep can dramatically increase sugar cravings. When you're tired, your body produces more ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and your brain becomes more sensitive to reward signals, especially for high sugar, high-fat foods. Try to get 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep per night. It's one of the most overlooked tools for managing sugar cravings. 5. Manage stress in healthy ways. Many of us reach for sugar when we feel overwhelmed. Instead of fighting the craving, try asking yourself, what do I really need right now? Sometimes the answer might be a 5-minute walk, a deep breath, a warm bath, a hug, a quiet moment alone. Cravings are often messengers, not enemies. They're pointing towards something you need. And sugar just happens to be the easiest way to feel better fast, but it's not the only way. 6. Replace, don't restrict. Rather than thinking, I can't have sugar, try asking, what else would satisfy me right now? Maybe it's a cup of herbal tea with cinnamon, a handful of berries, a small square of dark chocolate, a spoonful of nut butter, a smoothie made with banana and oat milk. Giving yourself satisfying alternatives helps you feel empowered, not deprived. 7. Forgive yourself when you slip. This journey is not about perfection. There will be moments when you say yes to sugar, and that's okay. What matters is what you do next. Instead of falling into guilt or giving up, try this. I enjoyed that. I'm learning. I'll keep going. That mindset will take you much further than any diet ever could. The reward of breaking free, as you begin to reduce sugar in your life, something magical happens. Your energy stabilizes, your mood improves. You sleep more deeply, your taste buds reset, and fruit starts to taste incredibly sweet. You feel lighter, clearer, and more connected to your body. And most of all, you realize that you don't need sugar to feel good. You already have what you need within you. In the next part, we'll explore natural sugar alternatives, which ones are healthy, which ones to be cautious with, and how to enjoy sweetness without compromising your well-being. Coming up next, healthy sugar alternatives. What works and what doesn't? Part 6, healthy sugar alternatives. What works and what doesn't? So you've started cutting back on sugar. You've learned to spot it on labels, you've survived the cravings, and you're feeling more in control. But there's still one question lingering in the air. What can I use instead? The desire for sweetness doesn't just disappear, and that's okay. Our bodies are naturally drawn to sweet flavors. The key is learning how to satisfy that craving in healthier ways, without undoing all the progress you've made. In this part, we'll gently explore the world of sugar alternatives, the good, the not so good, and the surprisingly sweet options you might never have considered. Natural sweeteners, closer to nature, but still sugar. Let's start with the sweeteners that come from natural sources, like plants, fruits, and sap. These often feel more wholesome, but it's important to understand their true impact on the body. 1. Raw honey, made by bees from flower nectar. Contains trace amounts of vitamins, antioxidants, and antibacterial properties. Best used in moderation. Honey still raises blood sugar and is high in fructose, but may be gentler than white sugar when used sparingly. 2. Maple syrup, tapped from maple trees. Contains small amounts of minerals like zinc and manganese. It has a rich, warm flavor and can be a beautiful addition to oatmeal or baking. But it's still sugar, about 13 grams per tablespoon, so use mindfully. 3. Coconut sugar, made from the sap of coconut palms. Lower on the glycemic index than white sugar. It's less processed and has a caramel-like taste, but it still contains fructose and calories, so again, it's a better sugar, not a free pass. What these natural sweeteners have in common? While they may come from more wholesome sources, they're all still added sugars. They can still spike blood sugar, trigger cravings, and impact your metabolism if used excessively. Think of them as your special occasion sweeteners, not everyday staples. 0-calorie natural sweeteners, sweet without the spike. Now let's look at the alternatives that offer sweetness without calories or blood sugar impact. These are especially useful for people managing diabetes or trying to lose weight without giving up sweet flavors entirely. 1. Stevia, extracted from the leaves of the Stevia ribaudiana plant. 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar. No calories and does not raise blood sugar. Stevia is a popular choice, especially in drinks and baking. Some people notice a slight bitter or licorice-like aftertaste, so it might take a little getting used to. Look for pure stevia extract, not blends with dextrose or maltodextrin, which can still raise blood sugar. 2. Monk fruit luohan guo, derived from a small green melon native to China. 150 to 200 times sweeter than sugar, 0 calories, no blood sugar effect. Monk fruit is often blended with erythritol to improve taste and texture. It has a clean, sweet flavor and is well tolerated by most people. Great for baking, beverages, or sweetening sauces. 3. Erythritol, a sugar alcohol found naturally in fruits like pears and grapes. Almost 0 calories, does not affect blood sugar or insulin. Erythritol is well absorbed in the small intestine and excreted without fermentation, meaning it usually causes less bloating than other sugar alcohols like xylitol or sorbitol. It's often used in keto-friendly products and has a sugar-like texture, making it great for baking. In large amounts, it may still cause digestive discomfort in some people, so start slowly. Artificial sweeteners, proceed with caution. These sweeteners are man-made and many times sweeter than sugar, but they come with some controversy. Common ones include aspartame, sucralose splendor, saccharin, asulfame potassium. They're widely used in diet sodas, sugar-free products, and even medications. What the science says, most are considered safe by regulatory agencies in small amounts. However, studies suggest that they may alter gut bacteria, affect appetite regulation, and maintain cravings for sweetness, even if they don't raise blood sugar directly. In short, they don't nourish your body, and they may confuse it. If you're working toward natural, whole food living, it's usually best to minimize or avoid artificial sweeteners when possible. What works best for everyday life? So, what kinds of sugar alternatives are best for daily life? Let's look at them in 3 simple categories. 1. Natural but caloric sweeteners, like honey, maple syrup, and coconut sugar. These sweeteners come from nature and may offer small amounts of nutrients, but they still raise blood sugar. They're best used for occasional treats, baking, or a light drizzle on breakfast, not something to rely on every day. 2. Natural, low, or 0-calorie sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit, and erythritol. These options are ideal for everyday use. They provide sweetness without spiking blood sugar, and they work well in drinks, baking, or sauces. For most people, these are the most balanced choices when transitioning away from traditional sugar. 3. Artificial sweeteners, such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin. While they contain no calories and are often found in sugar-free products, they're synthetic and may interfere with gut health, cravings, and appetite regulation. Long-term use is still debated, so it's generally wise to use them minimally or not at all, especially if you're moving toward a more natural, whole food lifestyle. Tips for transitioning to healthier sweetness. 1. Reset your taste buds. When you reduce sugar, your natural sensitivity to sweetness comes back. You'll start to notice how sweet a strawberry really is too. Use less over time. Try reducing the amount of sweetener gradually in your tea, coffee, or baking. Often, your body doesn't need as much as your habit suggests. 3. Pair sweetness with nutrition. Instead of just eating something sweet, combine it with healthy fat or fiber to slow the blood sugar response, like apple slices with almond butter. 4. Keep sweetness in its place. Make sweet flavors the highlight, not the foundation of your meals. This helps your body reconnect with its natural hunger and satisfaction signals. A sweet life without the sugar crash. The goal isn't to eliminate all sweetness. The goal is to choose it with intention so that it truly satisfies rather than keeps you chasing more. With time, your relationship with sweetness can become calm, balanced, and joyful. You'll enjoy the occasional sweet treat, savor it fully, and move on without guilt or cravings. That's real freedom. In the next part, we'll look at how sugar affects children and why developing healthy habits early can change a child's health and happiness for life. Coming up next, sugar and kids, a dangerous combo. Part 7, Sugar and Kids, a dangerous combo. Let's talk about someone very close to our hearts, our children. For many parents, one of the greatest joys is seeing a child smile, often with a sweet treat in hand. A lollipop after a doctor's visit, birthday cake, ice cream on a hot day. Sweetness is woven into childhood, but here's the gentle truth. What seems like a small indulgence here and there often adds up quickly. And children are far more vulnerable to sugar's effects than we realize. In this part, we'll explore how sugar impacts children, not just physically, but emotionally and cognitively, and how we can help them grow up strong, balanced, and well-nourished. Kids and sugar, a growing concern. According to the American Heart Association, children between the ages of 2 and 18 should consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. That's about 6 teaspoons. But in many parts of the world, children are consuming twice or even 3 times that amount, often before lunchtime. And unlike adults, kids' smaller bodies and developing brains are less equipped to handle the overload. What too much sugar does to a child's body. 1. Weight gain and childhood obesity. Excess sugar contributes to empty calories, energy without nutrition. Over time, this can lead to increased fat storage, especially around the abdomen, and a higher risk of childhood obesity, which often continues into adulthood. 2. Blood sugar swings and mood. Ever notice a child become super energetic after a sugary snack, and then suddenly crash into a grumpy or tearful state? That's the classic sugar high and crash. Rapid spikes and drops in blood sugar can lead to irritability, poor focus, tantrums, emotional ups and downs. Children may not understand why they feel off. They just know something feels uncomfortable. 3. Immune system suppression. Research has shown that high sugar intake can reduce the effectiveness of white blood cells, the cells that fight infection, for up to 5 hours after eating a high-sugar meal. That means children who frequently consume sugary snacks may be more prone to colds, viruses, and slow recovery times. 4. Dental health. Sugar is a major contributor to tooth decay, especially when consumed in sticky or liquid forms, like candies or juice. It feeds harmful bacteria in the mouth, which produce acids that erode enamel. And in young children, dental pain can affect speech, concentration, and even self-esteem. 5. Long-term metabolic effects. Excess sugar in childhood is linked to increased risk of type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, early signs of cardiovascular stress like high triglycerides and blood pressure, These issues used to be rare in children, but they're becoming more common every year. Sugar and the developing brain. One of the most concerning effects of sugar is how it influences the developing brain. High sugar diets in children are associated with impaired memory and learning, reduced attention span, increased symptoms of ADHD, greater risk of depression and anxiety in adolescence. Why? Because sugar can alter the balance of neurotransmitters, cause inflammation in the brain, and disrupt the gut-brain axis, all of which affect mood, behavior, and cognitive performance. Where are kids getting all this sugar? It's not just the occasional cookie. Most of the sugar children consume comes from everyday processed foods, like breakfast cereals, flavored yogurts, snack bars, fruit snacks and gummies, juices and flavored milk, ketchup, pasta sauce, and dressings, kid-friendly packaged meals. Even snacks that look healthy or are marketed as natural may be loaded with added sugars. How parents can help without the sugar battles. Creating a healthier food environment for kids doesn't have to mean strict rules or constant no's. In fact, a gentle, positive approach works better and lasts longer. Here are some supportive steps you can take. 1. Be a role model. Children learn by watching. When they see you choosing nourishing foods and enjoying sweet treats occasionally, they naturally follow your lead. No pressure needed. 2. Don't label foods as bad or forbidden. Instead, use words like, "This food helps your brain grow strong," or "This one is a sometimes treat because too much makes our tummies tired." This reduces guilt and helps children build a healthy, balanced mindset about food. 3. Make healthy swaps together. Turn it into a game or challenge. Try fresh fruit with yogurt instead of ice cream. Homemade smoothies with banana and peanut butter instead of milkshakes. Apple slices with almond butter instead of sugary cereal bars. Sparkling water with berries instead of soda. When kids are involved in choosing or making their snacks, they're more likely to enjoy the healthy version. 4. Watch the drinks. Many parents don't realize how much sugar hides in beverages. Try offering water with cucumber or lemon slices, herbal iced tea with a touch of honey, homemade smoothies with no added juice. Save juice for special occasions and always serve it diluted 50/50ths with water. 5. Focus on nourishment, not restriction. Instead of always saying no to sugar, focus on adding more whole foods, colorful fruits and veggies, whole grains, legumes, eggs, and nuts, healthy fats like avocado and olive oil. When kids are full and satisfied from real food, they naturally crave sugar less. Progress, not perfection. Every child will eat sugar at some point, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's creating a relationship with food that feels calm, joyful, and nourishing. If your child eats a cupcake at a party, enjoy the moment. Then return to your normal routine without shame or panic. What matters most is the overall pattern, not the occasional treat. Raising sweet kids without so much sugar. You don't have to take away sweetness from childhood, you just need to redefine it. Sweet moments can come from a family cooking night, fresh berries in the garden, laughing over homemade banana muffins, knowing your child is growing strong inside and out. With awareness, creativity, and love, you can help your child thrive and build habits that will nourish them for a lifetime. Up next, we'll gently bust some common myths and misunderstandings about sugar and help you feel even more confident about your everyday choices. Coming up next, myths and facts about sugar, what you should really know. Part 8, Myths and Facts about Sugar, what you should really know. In a world full of food labels, diet trends, and well-meaning advice, sugar can be a confusing topic. You may have heard someone say, fruit is bad because it has sugar. Or perhaps, brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. Or even, I need sugar to have energy. Some of these ideas have a little truth to them. But many are myths, and they can lead us to make choices that aren't actually in our best interest. In this part, we're going to gently untangle some of the most common sugar myths and replace them with calm, science-backed facts. Myth 1: I need sugar to boost my energy. Fact, sugar gives a quick burst of energy, followed by a crash. It's true that sugar is a fast source of fuel, but it's like kindling in a fire. It burns hot and fast, then leaves you feeling tired and hungry soon after. When you rely on sugar for energy, you create a roller coaster of spikes in blood sugar, bursts of insulin, sudden crash in energy and mood, cravings for more sugar. The better way to maintain stable, lasting energy is through balanced meals that include protein, healthy fats, fiber-rich carbohydrates, lots of hydration, and regular movement. This combination fuels your body gently and steadily, no crash required. Myth 2. Brown sugar is healthier than white sugar. Fact, the difference is minimal. Brown sugar is simply white sugar with a bit of molasses added back in. While molasses contains small amounts of minerals like calcium and potassium, the amounts are so small that they don't make a meaningful difference to your health. In terms of calories, sweetness, and how it affects your blood sugar, brown sugar and white sugar are essentially the same. If you enjoy the flavor of brown sugar, that's fine, but don't think of it as a healthy. Myth 3. Natural sugars are always better. Fact, it depends on the source. Sugars that come within whole foods, like fruits, sweet potatoes, or dairy, are accompanied by fiber, vitamins, and minerals. These help slow the absorption of sugar and provide lasting nourishment. But when sugar is extracted from natural sources and concentrated like in honey, maple syrup, or fruit juice, it still impacts your blood sugar much like regular sugar, especially when consumed in large amounts. So yes, natural sugar can be a better choice, but only when it comes with the whole food it came from. Myth 4. Fruit has too much sugar, I should avoid it. Fact, whole fruit is one of the healthiest things you can eat. It's true that fruit contains natural sugar, primarily fructose, but it also contains fiber, which slows digestion, water, which fills you up, antioxidants and phytonutrients, vitamins, and minerals. These nutrients make fruit radically different from a cookie or a soda. In fact, diets high in whole fruits are linked to lower risk of heart disease, better gut health, improved blood sugar control, reduced risk of some cancers. So go ahead and enjoy that apple, banana, or handful of berries. They're not just safe, they're incredibly good for you. Myth 5. Artificial sweeteners are a healthy alternative. Fact, the science is still mixed and natural options may be better. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin provide sweetness without calories, but they're also synthetic chemicals. Some studies suggest they may alter gut bacteria, interfere with hunger and satiety signals, keep your cravings for sweet flavors alive. While they may help reduce calorie intake in the short term, long-term effects are still being studied. If you want to reduce sugar without triggering more cravings, you might try stevia, monk fruit, erythritol. These come from natural sources and are generally better tolerated, but still best used in moderation. Myth 6. If it's labeled no sugar added, it must be healthy. Fact, it might still contain a lot of sugar, just naturally occurring. No sugar added doesn't mean sugar-free, it just means the manufacturer didn't add any sugar during processing. But the product could still contain high amounts of natural sugar, from fruit juice concentrates, dried fruits, or milk. Some of these foods may still cause blood sugar spikes, especially if they lack fiber, fat, or protein to balance them out. Always read the nutrition label and notice how you feel after eating. Myth 7. A little sugar every day is okay, as long as I stay under the limit. Fact, yes, but quality and frequency matter too. The World Health Organization recommends less than 25 grams of added sugar per day for adults. Staying under that number is a great start. But beyond quantity, it also helps to ask, where is the sugar coming from? Is it part of a nourishing meal or a sugary drink between meals? Am I eating sugar mindfully or on autopilot? Sometimes it's not about how much, but how often and whether that sugar is crowding out more nourishing choices. What you really need to know about sugar. Let's simplify all of this. Here's the truth. Sugar is not evil, it's part of life. It brings joy and celebration. But too much, too often, causes harm, especially when it sneaks into foods we don't expect. Your body is designed to handle a little sweetness, but it also needs fiber, protein, healthy fats, and rest. You don't have to quit sugar completely. Just know where it's hiding and choose it with intention. You're allowed to enjoy food. You're allowed to love dessert. This journey is not about being perfect. It's about being present, aware, and kind to your body. Up next, we'll put everything together into a simple, empowering plan. A 7-day sugar detox to help you reset your habits, your taste buds, and your energy. Coming up next, your 7-day sugar detox plan. So you've learned the science. You've seen the sneaky ways sugar shows up. Maybe you've even started cutting back, but you're wondering, how do I actually reset my body and my cravings for real? The answer isn't in a crash diet, a harsh cleanse, or throwing away everything sweet. It's in a simple, thoughtful shift, one day at a time. This 7-day sugar detox isn't about punishment. It's about reconnecting with your body and giving your system a little space to breathe, rebalance, and remember what it feels like to thrive without a sugar rush. Let's walk through it gently, together. What this detox will help you do: reset your taste buds, stabilize your blood sugar, reduce cravings, boost your energy and mood, improve sleep and digestion, rebuild a healthy relationship with sweetness. And no, you won't be hungry. This is about nourishment, not restriction. The guidelines before you start, before you dive in, here are a few things to keep in mind. This is not about cutting all carbs. You'll still enjoy fruits, root vegetables, and whole grains, just no added sugars. Whole fruits are allowed and encouraged, nature's candy, with fiber included. No artificial sweeteners. We want to reduce your dependence on sweet altogether. Keep it simple. Cook basic meals. No need for fancy recipes or perfect plating. Be kind to yourself. If you slip, just come back to the next meal. No guilt, no starting over. Day by day plan, your sugar reset. Underscore 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 underscore. Day 1 to 2, clear the clutter. Focus. Remove obvious sources of added sugar and prepare your kitchen. To do: toss or set aside sugary snacks, sodas, flavored yogurts, sweetened cereals, sauces with sugar. Read labels. If sugar or one of its 60+ names is in the top 3 ingredients, it's out for now. Fill your fridge with fresh vegetables and fruits. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, brown rice. Proteins, eggs, chicken, tofu, beans. Healthy fats, olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. Plain yogurt, unsweetened milk, or plant milk. Tip: if you drink coffee or tea with sugar, start reducing it by half, or switch to cinnamon or vanilla to add flavor. Day 3 to 4, stabilize and nourish. Focus. Eat in a way that keeps your blood sugar stable and cravings calm. To do: build every meal with these 4 key elements. 1. Protein: chicken, eggs, lentils, fish. 2. Healthy fats: olive oil, avocado, nuts. 3. Fiber: vegetables, legumes, chia, oats. 4. Complex carbs: quinoa, sweet potatoes, whole fruit. Snack smart: have a boiled egg, a handful of almonds, or an apple with peanut butter instead of reaching for processed snacks. Stay hydrated often. Cravings are really thirst in disguise. Drink plenty of water or herbal teas. Tip: try writing down how you feel after each meal. Noticing stable energy and clear focus is highly motivating. Day 5 to 6, break the habit loop. Focus, identify, and gently shift your automatic sugar moments. To do: notice your triggers. Is it late night snacking? Oh, afternoon crash. Oh, emotional eating? Oh, a reward after stress? Create new rituals to replace them. Oh, go for a short walk. Oh, stretch for 5 minutes. Oh, make a cup of herbal tea. Oh, call a friend or journal for 10 minutes. Swap sweet cravings for gentle alternatives. Oh, warm banana with cinnamon and almond butter. Oh, chia pudding with berries. Oh, baked apple with oats and a pinch of sea salt. Tip: it's not about removing comfort. It's about redefining it. Day 7, reflect and reconnect. Focus, celebrate your progress, and listen to your body to do. Notice how your body feels after 6 days of no added sugar. Ask yourself, oh, is my energy more stable? Oh, are my cravings less intense? Oh, do fruits taste sweeter? Oh, am I sleeping better? Write down your favorite meals or habits from the week. These can become the foundation of your new routine. If you want a treat, make it special. Maybe it's a homemade muffin with maple syrup, or a few squares of dark chocolate. Eaten slowly, with joy and no guilt. Tip: you're not finishing a detox. You're beginning a new relationship with food. Post-detox, what now? This 7-day reset isn't the end. It's the beginning of a gentler, more mindful way to enjoy sweetness in your life. Here are a few ways to move forward. Keep added sugar under 25 grams per day, but don't obsess. Continue eating balanced meals, full of whole foods and natural fiber. Use natural sweeteners occasionally, and with joy, trust your taste buds. They'll keep changing and craving less as time goes on. Honor your body's signals. If you feel energized, clear, and calm, you're on the right path. A new kind of sweet. You don't need sugar to feel whole. You don't need willpower to feel free. You just need awareness, kindness, and curiosity, and maybe a little lemon water along the way. Every step you take is a vote for your future health. And today, you just took another one. In the final chapter, we'll bring it all together and explore how to create a sugar-smart lifestyle that feels nourishing, flexible, and joyful for the long term. Coming up next, conclusion: a sweeter life with less sugar. You made it through the science, the labels, the cravings, the myths, and the moments of reflection. You stayed with it. And that means something powerful. You're no longer eating on autopilot. You're no longer letting sugar make choices for your body. You're beginning to lead from awareness. And that's the real sweet spot. What you've learned, let's take a gentle moment to look back at what you've explored. You've learned how sugar affects your brain, liver, heart, gut, skin, and even your emotions. You've discovered where sugar hides, in places you might never have expected. You've untangled the myths, like fruit is bad or brown sugar is better. You've explored alternatives without fear or restriction. You've understood how sugar affects not just adults, but children, with love, not shame. You've completed a 7-day reset, or at least imagined one, and felt what a calmer, clearer body can feel like. But most importantly, you've started building trust with your own body again. You're starting to listen and respond with care. That's the kind of relationship that lasts a lifetime. A new definition of sweet. Sweetness isn't just a flavor, it's a feeling. It's the warmth of sunlight through your window. It's a belly laugh with someone you love. It's a quiet moment with a book and tea. It's food that nourishes and satisfies without needing to overwhelm. When you reduce sugar, you make more space for that kind of sweetness, the kind that truly fills you. Because the truth is, sugar can amplify pleasure, but it should never replace it. Life after sugar, not perfect, but peaceful. What does a low-sugar life look like? It doesn't mean saying no to birthday cake. It doesn't mean reading every label forever. It doesn't mean living without joy. It means choosing sugar when it matters and skipping it when it doesn't. Knowing how much your body really needs and honoring that. Eating with intention, not habit. Enjoying treats fully without guilt or a need to overdo it. It means freedom, not fear. It means balance, not extremes. And that's something we all deserve. Simple truths to carry forward. If you take nothing else from this journey, Remember these: your body knows what it needs. You just need space to hear it. Cravings are not weaknesses. They're signals, often for rest, connection, or nourishment. Reducing sugar is not about saying no. It's about saying yes to energy, clarity, health, and joy. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to stay present, one choice at a time. A final word: you didn't come here for another rulebook. You came here for clarity and peace and power. And you found it not in restriction, but in reconnection. With your body, with your choices, with your life. So as you walk away from this video, or this guide, take with you not a list of things to avoid, but a vision of the life you want to feel. Light, balanced, energized, clear, joyful. And remember, it's okay to take it one small step at a time, because the journey to a sweeter life doesn't need to be so sweet. It just needs to be yours. Thank you for being here, for learning, for listening, for growing. If this journey inspired you, feel free to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to continue exploring health, nourishment, and self-care, this channel is here for you. Until next time, stay kind to your body. And stay sweet in the ways that matter most.